Hey everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm here to do another real quick update on the market here. And so what I'm going to do is kind of start with my normal disclaimer, not a financial advice. So you're responsible for your own trades. I'm here to give my perspective on the market, and you're responsible for your own trades. Um, all right, so as we get into things, I had a video yesterday that I really tried to kind of put things into perspective that, we were having some blow off tops. We had a lot of rallies in the market. A lot of it, honestly, was just a correction. Um, and so now that's what we're continuing. Well, we're continuing a correction here. So I guess what I want to start with is, again, going into this wedge here and kind of talking a little bit about, what this formation that we've been in ever since, very, very beginning of September, maybe the 5th or the 6th of September. Um, Starting down here on August 29th, very beginning of September, we had a good impulse. And if I took a look at this, if my wedge theory is going to be incorrect, what I can see here, and let me pull out my tools and kind of show this to you. What I can see is the formation starting from here, starting a 1, 2, and then a 3, 4, and then starting this or ending this 5 up here. All right. Of course, things might be off just a little bit. I'm just kind of focusing mostly on a 5-wave impulse up here, which it does look like we had a good like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a correction, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a correction. And this could be seen as a little bit of a maybe a little bit of a wedge. We did kind of overextend a little bit on this candle right here, maybe jump the gun just a little bit, but you can definitely see that there's a little bit of a wedge forming, which is indicative of a 4. And then maybe we pull this 4 out just a little bit over here, and then we complete the 5th. So we have another impulse to finish this. And then what comes after a 5-wave impulse? Typically, it is a 3-wave correction of sorts. So again, on a much smaller degree, starting from up here, we've got a B, and then a C. So we've got our wave down. To finish, really, this would be an A, right? So this is an ABC of an A, a larger A. And then we've got an ABC on our way up. So we've got a 3 and then another 1, 2, 3 to go up. And then what are we doing here? We're basically creating an A, a B, and then a C to work our way down. So starting from up here, we have got this A, we've got the B, and we go all the way down here for this C. All right, so now let me go and get a little more subdivision here, and we go down to an hourly chart and zoom out just a little bit so we can see a lot of this subdivision. We can see it a little more clear. So this A wave right here, you can count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 3, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 5, 3, 5 correction to make an A. And again, if I were to pull this out, and I'm going to move this to a larger degree, so we've got an A here, and then we've got a B up here, and then we've got our C down here. And again, I'm going to change the degree on this so we can see the difference, because this is definitely, on a higher degree. I'm going to change the color on this a little bit as well, just to show the difference in what we're actually looking at here. So we've completed our 5, 3, 5 for the A, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3 to go up to our B, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3 coming down for the C. All right, so let's pay attention to this. Starting from the top of this 5th, on the top of this 5, to measure a correction, and I talked about this in my last video as well, we take our trend-based Fibonacci extension tool, which again is over here on the side panel. We're going to go trend-based Fib extension, and I'm going to be looking for a 618, a 100, or a 123.6. So we start at the top, we measure the length of the A, and we bring it back to the top of our dominant pivot, which is going to be our B. And then we're going to be looking again for a 618, a 100, or a 123.6. And so you can see these levels right here. I'm using the cheesy colors for you. I'm not a real big fan of it, but this is to show you the zones that we're looking at. So on an ABC, we're looking for the 618, and we didn't really close. We didn't close below the 618, which is good, right? We didn't touch the 100. We wicked into this range, and then we worked our way out, and then we started another move up. Okay, so what is this new move up? I'm going to move to a 15-minute chart to look at this a little deeper. All right, so what I can see here is moving our way down to assumingly finish the C, which I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't go a little bit lower. I'm still looking at that 9,500. We might not get there based on what I can see here, but what I can definitely see is we are in the middle of creating a 1, a 2, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5. So we've got our 3 going to be right there, pulling us back down here, probably maybe to 10,000. We're really holding this as our major pivot that we need to hold at this point, which is at about 99.20. It wouldn't be surprising to see us come back down here and claim maybe 10,100 as support, but somewhere in this range to go down to our 4 and then to finish the 5. And that 5 is probably going to take us back up to 10,300 or so, assuming this is what we are actually creating. And again, I'm putting this 3 up here because what I actually believe this is its own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a smaller degree. All right, so this is again on a smaller degree. We're looking at that on a lower degree, and then we've got our 5 here to finish our third. My time frames are probably a little bit off. That's okay. We'll adjust it as things go. But this is kind of what I'm going to be looking for. And this 5 is going to take us up to, I'm predicting it's going to take us up to our prior resistance, which is going to be right here. I'm still paying real close attention to these types of formations. So that's a good formation right there. Here's another one that started to play out. I don't think it's finished. It didn't quite work out the same way as this dip and pump goes, because this was pretty much straight down, pretty much straight up. This was definitely straight down. It didn't go sideways though. Big difference there. This one did kind of, it kind of leaned as to kind of impulsing upwards to create a really good, a good motive wave here. And now we're sort of kind of flagging a little bit, trying to get us up to this fifth, which is right around 11,200, or sorry, 10,200, jumping the gun. So I'm keeping an eye on these formations because we are seeing them in a few different places. We saw it here, we did see it there. This was, something else to kind of pay attention to. We kind of saw it a little bit here where you kind of dump down, you have your mean reversion, takes you right back to kind of where it started from. So just paying attention to these types of formations as we go is going to be kind of important to kind of predicting what our next moves are going to be. Full disclosure, I did get stopped on my long that I was in. I did have a long on Bitcoin, and it was right around 10,000, and I did get stopped out on that move over here yesterday. Happy to admit I got stopped out. Not a big deal. We're just waiting for the next trade to appear. I did in the Discord channel, I did alert to some other trades, and I'm going to kind of show those to you right now. But before I move on, this is kind of where I'm thinking we're going on Bitcoin. Let me move back out to an hour chart here. I do think that we do have some more upward momentum to go. I don't think we're going to turn over and just completely die here. Although if I wanted to see something that would support us not going up any higher, I would pay attention to this right here. This is our resistance right now on this, and actually this looks like it would extend pretty nicely up to this level right here. So this trend line, and I'll change the color of this so that it's a little more obvious. This is definitely a trend line that we do need to pay attention to. And if I wanted to actually take this just one step further, I could turn this into a channel probably pretty well. And I'd be willing to bet that this is going to fall into play pretty good as well. So this takes us, if we take it from this pivot right here, we tried to break through below and we didn't. We didn't quite hit it this time, but we've bounced up quite a bit here. So for us to come all the way down here, this would take us all the way down to this 100% on our correction. So it's possible that's going to happen. But I'm going to be looking for us to break out of this trend. And, if we do this, then this definitely could happen. So this 5, the 5th, could take us right up here to the top of this trend. And then, of course, we're going to look for the reaction, the pullback to this level. We're going to look for 10,100 or so to count as support, and then take us up here to this 5th, which would again start another impulse to get us a little bit higher. And this ABC that we're on right here, this again is starting from all the way down here. This is going to be our 5, and then our ABC 3, and then again we're going to be looking for our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get us up to these higher levels. So it's possible for that to happen. Just a couple different scenarios, of course. I want to take a look at both the bull case and the bear case. And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get a long fill down here. Like I said, I was going to yesterday. I said I was looking for 9,500 to 9,550. I did expect that we were going to get another push down to kind of take out stops that might exist. That didn't happen, so I did not get filled down here on Bitcoin. If you're in the Discord channel, you know that I was talking a little bit about EOS. So I'm going to talk about EOS here for just a moment and take a look at this chart, because really this one did look pretty good to me when I saw this come down, and I'm going to kind of tell you what I saw here. So what I saw was our pull down, and then this is what I was expecting Bitcoin to do, which it didn't do. But I was expecting Bitcoin to get a push down and then get a push lower. That is what EOS did, and then it started to recover a little bit, and that's when I decided, all right, this is probably a good time to take a trade. So I took a trade at, I think, let me go back and just double check here. I took the trade at $3.86. We're at 394.5 right now. So 386, about this level right here, is where I did decide to take the trade. Yeah, it wicked all the way down here to $3 and $3.81 or so, but we have recovered quite nicely. And I'm also looking for EOS to be doing a little bit something like this, where we've got a 1, a 2, a 3, we're creating the 4, and then we're going to go in for the 5, which is likely going to take us back up to $4, maybe $4 at a nickel, something like that. This is where I'm going to be looking to probably get out of the position and wait for things to come back, because if you look at good old Fibonacci, if we are able to get up to this $4 mark, we're probably going to be pulling back to $3.93 to $3.90 before we start to move back up again. So again, looking for these corrections, likely we're going to get from up here. Assuming we get there, we're going to get an ABC on a smaller degree, taking us down here. We're going to have an ABC, and then we're going to get another move up, more than likely. That's kind of what I'm expecting EOS to do. So just being real careful about that. Also, I also talked about a trade on Litecoin, which surpassed what I was expecting to see. What I was seeing on Litecoin, just to kind of give you an idea why I decided to alert the channel on this trade, I was seeing some resistance at this level right here. So we have an hourly candle that stopped here. We also have a lot of resistance in this level here, but I did see some wicks in this area. I saw some wicks here, and so I did kind of extend us to I expected us to overextend a little bit. I didn't expect us to go as high as we did, so I did alert this trade at $73.50, and currently moving up. So lots of good movement in this area as well. Not that any of that should be considered financial advice. This is all just my opinion on the market, and of course, you're definitely advised to do your own research. So what I want to talk about for the last couple minutes here, we're at 14 minutes. I'm trying to keep all of my videos under 20 minutes for you guys. So what I'm looking at here, I'm looking at Ripple, I'm looking at Lumens, and I'm looking at Chainlink. So for these guys, what I'm seeing Ripple do, and just kind of pull this in just a little bit, I'm seeing Ripple do again what EOS did and what I expected Bitcoin to do. So Ripple has our lower low on the price. We have a higher low on the Stokes, which is what this green indicator is here. You can see right here, clear as day, we've got a higher low on the indicator, and then we have a lower low on the price. So Ripple, this is a bullish setup for me. Now, I didn't alert the channel for Ripple because I'm currently holding Ripple. Full disclosure, I do hold Ripple. I have been holding it for a while now. I got in right around 26 cents, and I didn't think that it was going to go back to 26 cents, so I kept the trade open. I'm going to continue to keep it open. But we are right here, as I was using for Litecoin. Currently, we're sitting here at a bit of resistance. So this level right here at right around 30 cents, 30 to 31 cents is going to be pretty strong resistance because this was support for a long, long time. For the better part of a day, this was resistance, or sorry, support, and then it turned resistance here, and then we rolled over. We got our nice divergence, and now we're moving ourselves back up. And this is starting to look again very similar to what the others are looking like. So this is looking like a 1, 2, 3, working our way into a 4, and then working up to a 5. Ripple likely is going to find resistance in this level as well, which is right around where that 5 is located. So again, just paying attention to this. And that's going to be at about 31 cents or so. So it's only about 1 cent difference. Is it worth it to take a trade here? No. I don't think it is. Wait for the pullback. You can see this stochastic on this is starting to get into our overbought territory. I do expect it to turn down. One thing I tell my daughter all the time: what goes up will come down. And that's when you take advantage of a trade. You don't take advantage of a trade when it's been going up. So perfect example of that, looking at lumens. So what's lumens doing? All right, well, of course, we talked about this yesterday. Euphoria on lumens going up to 12.5 cents on Coinbase alone. You don't buy into a candle that's just going skyrocketing, right? So right now, what we are actually doing here, we're consolidating quite nicely. So lumens is developing, a really nice wedge here in this that we do have to pay attention to. So we do have to watch this and watch to see how this resolves, because this is a little bit of a continuation pattern. We are in an uptrend. We are not in a downtrend on a lower time frame. That's important, because if we look at a lower time frame, or a higher time frame rather, we're definitely in a downtrend. But this is a really, really good sign for bullishness. So I'm just being very cautious, of course, but it does look like we are starting to reverse, which again, if I were to count something like this, I would be looking at this as more, oh gosh, that's really hard to pull into this because of this wick right here. I can't count this as a 1, but I'm looking at this as a potential 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count this as the 3. I'm not going to count this as a 3. And then working our way into a 4, and then we're going to start to move our way higher. We're going to get a correction to pull us probably back down to maybe 7.5 to 8.5 cents. Probably going to be looking for that before we start to move back up. Lumens does look good. Lumens does look good. Again, I wouldn't buy it here. I would wait for a breakout. If Lumens is able to get up and close above 9 cents, I would take the trade from 9 cents to 11 cents. You're looking at about 10%, 15% profit at that point. And then get in and get out. Don't sit and hold. If you're in to hold, just buy now, right? But if you're looking to make a quick swing here from 9 cents to 11 cents, you can take that trade. Wait for it to come back though before you get back in. Or if you don't want to take the quick trade here, if you're not going to be around to take this trade, set some bids down here at about 7 cents to 8.5 cents, and just let them fill. No need to rush into a trade. No need to be in a trade either. You don't need to be in a trade all the time. So just keeping that in mind. This is sort of what I'm looking at for lumens. Chainlink, I've got some good feelings about it. This one also looks like we're in a consolidation and maybe potentially starting to break out of it just a little bit. Chainlink, however, did not have the massive candle like lumens did. This does look like a good 1, 2, finishing a 3, working into a 4, going into a 5. Again, just like lumens, it's going to pull back eventually. Looks like we're going to go to about $2, and it's a little over $2. I'm going to see some resistance here. Again, you got to pay attention to these resistance levels, because there's going to be one here. There's going to be one there. You have to pay attention to those. You can see we got rejected off of it here, and we're likely going to get rejected off of it here. This level was support for not nearly as long as this level was support. This level got tested Many times we got tested here, 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 4, 5, 6. It was resistance, and now I'm expecting it for it to be resistance again. Could be wrong. We may be pulling up to this level up here, which is also another one that I will be paying attention to $2.30. So anywhere between $2 and $2.30, I expect these to be our levels of resistance as we run into it. So moving up to a 3-hour time frame again, kind of looking at this from somewhat of a longer time frame. We're looking at this, and also you also have these trend lines that are created based off of this price action. So this does kind of fall into that same level at $2.30. So you could take the trade here at $1.88 or so and get out of the trade at $2.30. So there's a little bit of profit to be made there. So I think that's what I've got. If you've got any questions or anything that I can answer for you, feel free to ask me in the Discord. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you've got. If you don't have access to our Discord, just ask. I can give you an invite to the Discord. We only turned off the invites only for the purpose of keeping spam down. So feel free to send me a DM here on YouTube, or you can also shoot me an email at mybitdoctor@protonmail.com. So shoot me an email, shoot me a message in here, leave a comment, all that good stuff, and I'm more than happy to get that in for you. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in Discord. Catch you later.